the idea that we all can take part. It looks like a huge, daunting problem, but if we break it down into little pieces, we can make a difference, each and every one of us. And so that's why we have designed a project that involves community members who want to make that difference. Volunteer stewardship means you go in, you make a difference, and you own that. It's our world. It's all of our world. And it would be great if you got your hands dirty and your feet wet making that difference. So come on down to the WATERGOAT. Thank you.
Who remembers what that guided visualization we just did was? Who remembers what that was about? You want to start, Christina? All right. Is it okay if I come over here so we can hear you?
It was about like how we visualize the dirty water and like all the bottles in the river and how like we cleaned it up, and after it was all clean so you can drink the water, go in the water, swim in it. And
yeah. Exactly. Perfect. So who remembers what feelings you felt when you saw that the water was all dirty? Remember someone told me a couple of feelings. How did you feel?
It made me feel sad.
Sad? It made you feel sad? What did it make you feel? Do you remember?
Yeah, it kind of made me feel sad too, because if we put in trash in the river, we guys should be mean to the earth.
Yeah, so putting trash in the river is like being mean to the earth. That's a beautiful quote. That's a really good quote. So, what did it feel like after you cleaned the water? What were some words that I heard about that? How did you feel after the water was clean?
We felt like we all felt like we did something good.
You felt like you did something good? Anyone else?
Environmental stewardship has several bits. One is engaging people, regular folks, in understanding their environment and taking some active role in protecting it, making it better. So for example, we have citizen scientists who are volunteers who get trained up and they go out and collect water samples. And then that means that they're learning about the water quality, they're actively contributing to the science, and some of them will go on, and some of their neighbors and friends and other ORS members go on to advocate for better policies. Maybe they'll write to their state legislators, who really, really need to hear from us these days. And I think now, especially with the period of the COVID pandemic, is we're seeing this really important intersection between environmental health and public health. So we can see that our efforts in environmental stewardship can pay off in terms of public health. And we know that this spring and summer, so many more people are enjoying our natural spaces. So like this beautiful spot here, this is where people come to rejuvenate themselves, to get exercise, to amuse their kids, which is desperately needed, teach their kids about nature. So these places have become even more important than they were before. And so we need to put extra effort into making them places you'd want to be. So like the WATERGOAT here, which you can see through this bridge, just in front of the next bridge, is something that's going to catch the visible pollution. And when you remove the visible pollution, the place becomes more beautiful. Even one styrofoam cup can kind of wreck the view for people. But if you can remove those things, people will enjoy it and they'll value it more, they'll take better care of it, and it will just serve both environmental health and public health at the same time.
In middle school, I watched as we pulled a river up from the earth like a ribbon, day by day, brown and silky, slow with sediment the color of all things living. And it was said by someone somewhere, "Today we return a piece of our tapestry to the sky. Today the steady construction of dirt has announced itself reborn, like all the molten slow progress of this world, like every gas station street concrete ripped up across the sidewalk for something new. But this was the kind of wound that time could ignore, and we coaxed a river from the ground anyways. And yes, history winds its way along water, a testament to time pumping through the ground we walk on. Earth, this rock, hailed meteors down from their planetary lanes, lucky bombardment. After all, we are a cosmic magic trick spinning on the thumb of all that we would not survive. What water we have was never ours to begin with, nor the dinosaurs, not anyone after or before. It is all the prehistoric plasma, every moment and before stretching back into what we have no name for. It's heirloom, is what I'm saying. Passed down from generation to generation, it has filled the hands of our distant ancestors and our cousins in becoming sentient, gathered along streams. Here, the water with eons inside of it, the water protected, the water wasted, the water given less than a thought, the water precious, the water a knife in its absence. This is a happy poem. Yellow, buoy, buoyant, a barricade is brought from Florida. Make visible the mess, the turtles sitting on the carapace of commerce, our flotsam bubbling up into the balance. That we could even wish those dinosaurs gone. And wouldn't that bother you, another skipped note like every rest infesting the orchestra of our planet? What would the last turtle say to you with its eyes? But this is a hopeful poem like every song in the ruins of a city. This is a poem that knows how fragile our plenty is, how abundance is a lie we tell ourselves to feel safe, and safety is a myth we use to avoid the responsibility of living in such a fleeting place, a moment even I have taken for granted.
You're a lucky guy.
I am a double lucky guy. I am, just to be here, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, this is magnificent. Now, why the Muddy River? The drop from Leverett Pond to the Charles, 1 foot. So therefore, it's the Muddy River, because it drops its sediment. And therefore, we have constant problems, and it's still today a problem. And therefore, from my point of view, the water project had their focus on exactly what was needed, the Muddy River. So when Olmsted got here, they said, it's polluted. And he said, that's exactly why we're going to do it. Because we're going to change it from being polluted to be a magnificent park. This is a sanitation problem. Olmsted had a vision immediately in coming to Boston about a park, or a series of parks, as he put it. Now, in his day, this was basically all marsh. So when Olmsted walked and rode his horse the length of this area, there was a genius of each place. And here he immediately saw the genius of having this fence, that when people were in their carriages, it would remind them of being on the North Shore, the South Shore of Massachusetts. But right here in the city, this is something that people are going to see as an estuary. And that's the beautiful fact that this Muddy River was one of his greatest creative parks there was, and that's why we need a new vision. How can we clean the water?
He's the youngest.
So I think the Muddy Water River Initiative is so exciting. I mean, so the Muddy River runs through my district, and you know, it's this crucial resource that takes our rainwater in, it takes runoff, and we need it to be clean. And we need it to be clean for the sake of all the birds and the fish that are in it, and for the broader natural environment. And so, to me, the initiative is about really centering that river, that it's too easy for us to forget. I mean, it runs right through the city, but in places we've got it running under the highway, we've got it, you know, hidden from view, and yet, as the city deals with climate change, more and more, you need this river resource as a way of capturing water. And so to me, the Muddy River Initiative is some long overdue attention on that resource. And I'm so excited about the WATERGOAT, which is going to help us get started on the important work of cleaning it.
I think, you know, being here today with the Muddy Water Initiative and being able to be a part of this, I must say, one, it was my first piece of legislation ever in office, but to partner with neighbors and constituents and friends on an issue that I care so much about, an issue that is really going to change the face of this neighborhood and the parks, is something that, you know, means the world to me.
Environmental stewardship, you know, we're given one planet. You know, there's one Earth, and I think it's our job every day to make sure that the world is as clean as it can be and as sustainable as it can be for the next generation and then the next generation.
I mean, I think of the environment as something we rely on every day. I mean, here in the city during COVID, just getting outside, breathing the air, thinking about how the air gets clean, we rely on the environment. So environmental stewardship is returning that favor, recognizing that we won't have those natural resources if we don't step up and care for them and proactively care for them for future generations.
First thing and the easiest thing to do is just volunteer with a local group. Everybody's looking for folks to help out, and do what you can. I always say you're not responsible for changing the world, but you are for your corner of it.
I'm Larry Tamblin. I'm the founder and lead singer of the Standells, who recorded the song Dirty Water. I'm really proud of how much we're tied to the culture of Boston, Massachusetts. And I'm especially thrilled that our song has played such a vital role in cleaning up the Charles River, once one of the most polluted rivers in America, and now one of the cleanest. The Muddy Water Initiative is every bit as important to me because it's a process by which tributary feeding into the Charles River is cleaned up and detoxified. I love that clean water.